Welcome to the Reddit Review. Today we're talking about AI.
ChatGPT was banned across the entire APS district. No one understood why, but it's across the entire district. You can't access it on the PCs. It's across the entire network. And today we're going to be talking about why it could have possibly been banned, cons of AI, the environmental impacts of AI, and how to use it in school properly.
For reference, we're talking about LLMs today, large language models. We're not going to look at AI image generation. We're just going to purely focus on language. As we already said, ChatGPT has been banned for students across the entire network. What do you think about it being banned?
I don't think it was that necessary. Let me just say that. The thought process was there, but there are other sources out there, and I'm not going to disclose names, of course, as a student myself, but there are other sources out there, and it's just more of an incentive to get creative versus, to not use AI, because, no duh, ChatGPT isn't the only AI out there. But I do think the thought process was there. People, I used AI for research, but I've been flagged multiple times just for the use of AI.
That makes sense.
Because teachers are geeking out about how they're only using it how students are actually just using it to do their assignments for them, not actually using it as a resource. And honestly, I don't think it should be banned, but students and teachers should be able to practice the using it the correct way.
For sure, yeah. It's really a matter of if your teacher allows it, and then as long as you're actually using it to better yourself. If you're using it the wrong way, you're doing a disservice to yourself.
Yeah, because when it comes time to just update yourself and you have no AI at your disposal, you still got to be able to do it yourself.
Yeah, make your brain smarter,
Oh, God.
All right, let's talk about just pros and cons. If you'd like, I'll go over pros. You can mention cons maybe.
I'll do cons.
Okay. So I'm very adamant about this. I'm very pro AI studying and tutoring because I'm all about education. I really think education is one of the most important things. If people aren't educated, it would be idiocracy. If you've seen the movie, it's insane how just dumb everyone gets and how terrible society is. So I think it's really useful for furthering your knowledge in things, having it quiz you. It can to make sure you've learned something. In school, it can make you notes, or it can obviously notes not to turn in, but just to use. It can give you tailored quizzes, and it can teach to you specifically, because school is very oriented towards kids like us who excel, who learn well, but not towards kids who struggle more with learning.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. I really do. But you still got to think about the bad parts of AI, because yes, you can use it to study and all that, but too many people rely on it to do everything for them.
That's true.
More of a wheelchair, almost
I'm pretty sure he meant to say crutch, not wheelchair. Javyn is not ableist. He just doesn't know how to use words correctly.
No one really knows how to do stuff themselves, and it infers on our cognitive abilities. So like I said, once we're not able to use AI, then we have no idea what to do. And then even if you're going to use it to study, it's too unreliable. You have to fact check it afterwards, because it's a guess-based algorithm. So you can't fully trust what it's saying unless it's what's 2 + 2 or something like that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's AI, LLM specifically. It's an algorithm. It's a math equation that tries to figure out what humans want to hear.
And on top of that, its intended purpose, I know AI was meant to be a tool, but it got abused really fast. School, it got used for cheating, and it requires way too many natural resources. So yes, it's using so much water, silicon, copper, gallium, neodymium, all rare metals that we have to. It emits a lot of natural gas once we're trying to mine for that stuff, and because it requires so much, AI is technically causing so much CO2 emissions in the air. So not only is it harming us ourselves, it's harming our environment.
Definitely. No, and that's really important. We need to figure out, before we further its abilities, we need to figure out how to make it renewable. We're already trying to do that with electric cars, It's like, electric cars used to be just as bad as gas cars. They used to be just as bad because of the way they got energy. But now they're moving more towards solar and wind, things that are renewable that we'll never run out of.
So we got to take that same approach with AI.
Yeah. The world is becoming a lot more connected. It already has, you can talk to someone across the world just through your computer. And so I think it's really important to be able to communicate. AI is really good at text translation. I mean, it does make mistakes, obviously, but it's getting better. It can way more accurately translate things than like Google Translate. Because Google Translate, it's very literal. If you translate it back, even just a few times, it can have a completely different sentence. Yeah. But AI understands the way humans think, because that's its goal. It's trying to think about like it. It's trying to think like a human.
That's the way it was taught, though. So
yeah.
Yes, it's thinking more human oriented, but that's only because it was told to. So it's more like flexible, but to only a certain extent.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And then it's also a lot, with translation, like you don't have to pay someone to be a translator, which I get. Taking jobs is bad. The internet was a thing that was supposed to take a bunch of jobs, and it ended up not being as bad as everyone thought it was. But it still took away from people like newspaper manufacturers. It takes business away.
Fun fact about that too, I lived right next to Wendy's. For the longest time, it was some guy over the intercom saying, "Hi, welcome to Wendy's. How may I help you?" They switched that to an AI that was based off of Wendy's. So now it's you speak it to the mic, and then the AI is processing what you want to order. So that's already some jobs gone.
Definitely, yeah. It definitely takes jobs, but I think it's good for taking those mundane, those really those tasks that humans aren't meant to do, like computer-oriented tasks. Yeah. I think they're really important, and it can also make connections that humans just can't. A lot of people, they use AI as sort of like therapy, which you shouldn't do. You should talk to humans if you work best with humans. But it was able to make connections to things that they had talked about weeks ago that like a human just wouldn't be able to find, and that's like really important. Finding connections between things so you can solve your problems quicker.
Honestly, I hear that, but again, that ability was abused too. Like a lot of things about AI was abused.
Definitely, it's not perfect by any means. But I think the only reason I'm for AI, and I know you're pretty strongly against it, the only reason I'm for AI is because most of its problems, if not all of its problems, can be fixed. They can be solved, and I think if that's the future we're heading to, I'm very pro AI.
But it's already done enough damage as is. A lot of damage on us, damage on the environment, damage on society in general. And that's why I'm pretty strongly against it. Because it's like, I'm very anti-cheating. All right?
Yeah.
Call me a good boy if you want.
Whoa.
I don't do. All right. Buddy.
Cheating's bad. We hate cheating.
But anyway, yeah, I'm very against AI for that specific reason. Too much damage has been done already. We can't just hope to make it better in the future.
For sure.
What happens if we don't? Then what? AI could potentially take over.
Yeah, AI 2027. It was a paper done by like historians, I believe, that went over what is not entirely. It's not unlikely to happen. It's pretty scary. AI basically takes over the world, and it's scary, man. It is. But I think I'm optimistic. I try to be. I'm not a very optimistic person. I try to be optimistic about this.
I'm the complete opposite. Yeah. I'm a very like cheerful and optimistic person. It's like general, but not when it comes to AI at all.
And when looking at history, I mean, AI is it's unprecedented. We've never had anything like what we have now. But if you look at history, with the internet, people were very scared of it. People thought the world was going to end because of it, and we're doing pretty fine. We're doing pretty good. And so I like to look at that and then see, AI is kind of similar. Maybe it'll be fine. And we gotta try to enjoy what we have. We can't just sit here worrying about everything because we gotta think about the future.
Yeah, so I think our best option is, not leave it where it is, but
make it better.
Yeah, make its
impacts better.
Make what we have better versus adding more to what we have.
Exactly. No, that's something I feel like a lot of companies and organizations fail to do is they make more products instead of better products.
Well, I'm here with Brooke today, asking him questions about the usage of AI and all that. First of all, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm all right, chilling.
Love to hear.
So what do you use AI for?
You know, what don't I use AI for? Really, I use it for, giving me ideas, like creative ideas. I use it for structuring everything with my homework, my schedule. I use it as feedback, and I even use it to, do the occasional assignment or two, but only when it's permitted.
I see. Yeah. Oh, what are your thoughts on the school banning ChatGPT?
I hate it. Like, I absolutely hate it. Like, if I'm being completely honest, like, I had it bookmarked on my computer. If I'm being completely honest, especially pertaining to like banning it on our Chromebooks, I think it's more of an inconvenience than anything else. Because I can go on my phone and still use ChatGPT. So if a class is banning or an assignment is banning the use of AI, I think they're not necessarily prohibiting the use of it. They're just making it harder to access. And in terms of that, like, it's just like, it just takes away from the fact, like, earlier today I had to do something where I was brainstorming ideas, and I wanted to use ChatGPT to help me, but I couldn't, so it was just inconvenience for me. So I think there's no necessary gain, but there's a lot of downsides. Because if I still want to use AI to cheat, I'm going to find a way to use AI to cheat. So they're kind of like not blocking anything, more of just making it annoying.
More of an encouragement.
This is being annoying. So,
all right. What are your thoughts on overusing AI? Like, do you think you might overuse it?
I would say, like, there's times where, like, instead of Googling something, I'll just use ChatGPT straight ChatGPT. But I honestly think it's just more efficient and it's more, it's just a better source, honestly. Like, honestly, having an explanation of the answers rather than me having to scroll through source to source, I think it's just more efficient and it's honestly just better. In terms of overusing it, I think it's a good thing to keep in mind that ChatGPT is like a tool and AI is a tool, not a crutch. And I think that something that does reflect in our school today is like using AI as a crutch. And when you really can't complete an assignment without using AI, that's when you know there's a problem, it's a crutch, and it's no longer a tool. That's what I would say.
All right, thank you for the time.
Oh, of course. Thank you.
What's your stance on generative AI, generally, like in schools?
AI is a tool, and it's really dangerous right now. We're still all students and staff learning how to use it effectively. I think an example is you can use it for citations, and it can quickly get you the name, a proper citation, but at the same time it can mislead you with some information.
That's true. Do you use AI for any of your curriculums or anything?
I've used it a couple times, and sometimes it's good, what I need, and other times it's too generic, or I've tried it and it has some errors, and I check my facts, the sources, and it wasn't real. And I thought, it's too good to be true. That's another danger, that it's kind of like people used to complain about Wikipedia. And Wikipedia is very careful now to do both sides, show you their sources. I think AI is kind of the new Wikipedia, that it's kind of a dangerous middle ground.
It's an interesting comparison, like AI or Wikipedia to AI. Thoughts on how your students use AI? Do you notice them abusing it or anything?
Used to always be able to tell when students were using AI, but now there's newer sources, different ways to use it for part of assignments, and again, it's very dangerous if original individual thinking is taken away and replaced by a computer doing that. So,
what do you think about ChatGPT getting banned on the network for students?
Wiley, with great power comes great responsibility, and we just need to teach students to carefully use those tools. I know one new feature is, I just learned about this fall, having proper citation proving that you used AI.
Yeah.
I think that's really important to always show in a research paper or something that you're producing, that if you used AI, it's just proper citations, and it's like plagiarism. If you don't explain that you used AI, then it can be deemed plagiarism.
Definitely, yeah. It's it's weird. It's kind of one big gray area, almost.
A giant gray area, like maybe a Russia or a China of gray area, huge, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Anytime.
Hello, Raiders. As you know, we've been talking about the AI ban, but in the event that you try to use your other resources that are available, here's some guidelines. So first, under studying, summarization is a bit iffy, but you can use it like to your advantage really well. If you have a class with a lot of work, what you can do is you can take whatever textbook you have to read. If there's a PDF on it, you can have it summarized and like make notes for you. Just nothing that you're gonna turn in, and make sure you have permission from your teacher. All right. Second off, you can quiz yourself. This is really useful to further your knowledge in certain topics. A lot of people use it in politics to make sure they have all the facts. You can just put information in and have it quiz you on a certain topic, and usually you get some pretty good results. This one, really important, looking for sources. ChatGPT, even though it's been banned, is a really good search engine. It's commonly used as a replacement for Google, unfortunately. But using its search feature or other platform search features, you can really easily look for sources, and it can verify and fact check and make sure you get reliable sources. All right, last one, explaining complex topics. Just like summarization, AP classes can be really tough. And so, if there's a topic that you don't understand very well, have ChatGPT or another platform explain it to you. All right, we're moving on to cheating. Never, ever, listen to me. Hey, look, listen to me. Don't turn in 100% AI made work. It's bad. Just like turning in work, like essays, don't let it answer questions for you. That's very bad. Don't do this. It's under cheating. Answer your own questions, please. You're just making yourself dumber by having ChatGPT answer everything for you. Cheating is stupid, and it keeps you from exploring your full potential. AI notes for assignments. If you have to take notes for an assignment, do not have ChatGPT do it for you and turn them in. It just doesn't make sense. You're not learning anything. You have to actually study in order to use your notes correctly. All right, that's my segment, and thank you very much for watching.
So clearly I'm not the white man. I'm here to talk about where to cut down on AI use. Because like my co-host just said, AI is a wonderful tool that you could be used for anything you want, but it's also not. So number one, using AI for school purposes is good. Don't trust AI to do everything for you. Remember, it's a guess-based algorithm, so it may be wrong. It says it itself too. Like if you were to go on, like Google has its own integrated AI now. So like if you were to go on there and look something up, it'd say, fact check, AI may be wrong. So you gotta make sure that what ChatGPT or Liner or whatever it is that's telling you whatever information you need, you gotta make sure it's true, all right? Don't incorporate it into your everyday life. Like there have been stories about people using LLMs for diet advice, dating advice. Like there aren't really others I can think off the top of my head, but LLMs have like pretty much taken over entertainment. So like I said, using AI for school purposes is good, but on top of not trusting AI, try to do it yourself. Yeah, if you're trying to do research or something, don't try to look up stuff yourself. Like go to different websites. There are many different outside web there, like Wikipedia, Britannica. There are websites out there that can help you do research. And ChatGPT is literally forming off of those websites. So whatever resources or whatever it's giving you, it's giving it from those types of websites.
Also, Wikipedia has become way more reliable than it used to be. Make sure you tell that to your teachers.
So just all in all, don't depend on AI and don't trust it. You gotta make sure to fact check it after every search. You gotta make sure it's your absolute last resort. And just don't depend on it for everything. That's right.
Oh my God, Javyn, hold on. Okay, but now I gotta step up my game. How am I supposed to top this?
Nature. What a beautiful thing. It's such a shame it would be if an LLM were to destroy this.
I'm right. Javyn, that's true. So we should talk about the environmental impacts of AI and LLM. So we already mentioned rare earth elements, right? A lot of silicon, a lot of copper gets used up by these.
Something that y'all didn't know is that those data centers that are used to process the answers for AI and all that, like some that are located in Texas, they require huge amounts of water, which is draining the water supply, immensely.
It's good that you mentioned Texas because it was reported that people in Texas were asked to cut down on like showering, or like not how often they shower necessarily, but like how long they shower for, which is an issue in itself. But I feel like we should prioritize people over robots, and it's because GPUs are cooled using the water most commonly in these data centers, and so it uses a lot of it because it uses a lot of GPUs.
Same data centers, they're used to process the prompts and stuff that we put into like ChatGPT and all that. They're powered by natural gas and coal. So on top of draining the water supply, we're also like emitting CO2 emissions.
Definitely, it's huge on the CO2 emissions. It's really terrible because carbon dioxide lasts in the atmosphere for up to thousands of years, which you probably learned in chemistry.
I hope so. And on top of that, dangerous amounts of e-waste, including lead, mercury, cadmium, all of that's left over is contaminating the soil. So on top of the water supply and CO2 emissions, the soil's going to be contaminated, meaning it's going to seep into, it's going to destroy the plants and stuff.
Definitely. And like, let's be honest here, there's a lot of water, there's a lot of dirt. But if we get rid of that, then it's gone. There's a lot of it. But we also have an Earth that's 8,000 meters in diameter. So we kind of need it. Alright, thank you so much for watching our first video.
Tune in next time.
Yin and Yang,
out.